Hello loves, welcome to Fifth Dimension. So this is going to be a collective reading. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I hope y'all are doing good today. Alright, so let's see what messages come out for the collective. We have containment. We have responsibility. We have healer, protection, banishment, and foundation. Actually, let me do one more row. Clarify. We have summer, power, I'm getting like what's his name, Smokey the Bear with this, and then her face, it's like giving me only you can prevent forest fires. So there's something you're being reminded of as far as like your power, being responsible for what it is that you give your power away for, and holding yourself accountable for bringing your power back when necessary. This is going to connect with yesterday's reading where I said there was a lot of giving away of power. This is strongly giving me like holding yourself accountable, right? Like that Smokey the Bear saying, hey, it's your responsibility. Don't just come into these forests and be careless. So I'm sort of getting that with your energy, to not be careless with it at this time, specifically your power, where it is that you're directing from, like you as a person. You're operating from your core, right? And so where it is that you're giving your thoughts to, your energy to, your time to, your money to, your whatever, right? Your all of that. Being very hyper aware that it is your responsibility to maintain that, to contain that, to protect that. Then with healer, foundation, and remembrance. Ancestry. Oh, well, no shit, right? It says ancestors on there. I was just looking at the bottom words of each card because like the top ones are all like the witchy words. Like healer, foundation, and remembrance is strongly giving me about those of you that are working on ancestral healing. Something's happening with that. We'll get into some tarot. There's significance to the summer solstice. Something about using that energy, working with that energy, working with the buildup of the energy of spring moving its way into the summer, if that's something you do, right? Whatever practices, like there's no such one way, but like whatever it is you feel guided to do, and manifesting with that energy, or just really healing if that's what you're doing with that energy, or just moving in life. As far as spring is blooming, right? So taking actions, doing lots of doing of whatever. I feel like you're moving into a busy, I'm getting busy bee. And I feel like that's why there's this strong guidance about being very in charge and very disciplined with your power and what you give it away to, because it's necessary to have that protected and stored for what it is that you are growing for yourself, okay? For what it is that you are healing in yourself. Are I heard 3 months. What's in 3 months? April, May, June, July. Yeah, that's summer, exactly. Okay, so yeah, something like there's a build up to something that's happening in 3 months. Sounds so funny. I don't like giving timelines, but more or less. Okay, so like in a chunk of time, there is steady growth is sort of what I'm getting. Clarify this energy. Keeping it in balance. Okay, so I feel like, or actually let me just clarify them all, because I was about to say, like, you're probably coming from a place in your journey where you have been growing strong boundaries, and so it's a matter of being disciplined is what I strongly get. Like, don't forget everything that you learned. Don't, I don't know. It's just like you learned to put a boundary here, put a boundary there. And you got very strict with the boundaries. But then there's like new energy coming in. And it sort of feels like don't go getting like thinking, well, I already learned that, so I don't need to do it. Like, no, you need to stay. I don't know. That's just something that played out in my head. Take it if it resonates with me. We have the 3 and then we have the 4 of Swords. So a healing. Yeah. This is giving me a reading a while back. That I said that around summertime that there would be some frozen energy that would start to melt. And I said it felt like, yeah, it felt like being iced out, being left out, being left behind, a loss, a heartbroken, some grief, some sadness, whichever resonates. That's really healing itself within a short span of time, it feels. So there's a lot going on. There's some ancestral healing going on for some of you that are specifically focused on that. I heard therapy, family therapy. So there may be some family therapy involved, or whatever it is that you're doing that's actually making really good progress at this time. There's something shifting within that that might be in connection with what's going on over here, actually. Because this is, yeah, I feel like you're strongly like in a place of having everything that you need to put your energy in a balance, even in times of feeling the 3 of Swords energy, with the tools that you've gathered. And there's like a strong, just like a reminder, a very firm reminder. Responsibility, clarify. We have the 7 of Swords and the 9 of Cups. So to not, there's your responsibility. Your own happiness is your own fulfillment, is your own responsibility, and to not allow yourself to be disillusioned by feeling that something outside of yourself is what will bring you fulfillment. And I feel like that's something that was coming up in yesterday's reading, but that's what it's giving me, like to not deceive yourself and become convinced that your fulfillment is dependent upon something outside of you. Clarify banishment. We have the 7 of Wands. Sorry, it takes me forever. I'm like rereading the Roman numeral over and over. 7 and 7, that may be something that you're seeing. If not, don't worry about it. It just stood out to me. The 7 of Wands, standing up for something. It could be self. With banishment, it was giving me all of those boundaries. So again, it's giving me to continue to keep that stance in having firm boundaries when it comes to your energy. Specifically, be careful who you let in is what this is strongly giving me. And I don't know if that's like, oh, like, I'm not trying to say it like, oh, beware and who's around you. No, like, this is not about like, oh, having to watch your back. No, you are fully protected. not only in the other realms, but you are protected within yourself. Why? Because you have all the tools that you need to be fully aware. Now, if you allow yourself to be deceived, which is what it's trying to tell you right here, don't allow yourself to be deceived. If you allow yourself to be deceived is another thing, but to say that you weren't prepared to recognize something that you should have placed boundary on is not accurate, okay? And I think that that's where that firm reminder is only you have that that ability to give your power away or to allow others in to cross a certain boundary that is going to affect you, you know? Okay, so we have power, and then we have the 10 of Pentacles. I love that because that is like the acknowledgement of like you having everything within you to create what it is that you're trying to create. It feels like stability. I feel like you just want to feel stable. I feel like you just want things to slow down, not slow down, but feel more secure. Yeah, stable, secure, all of that. It's the same thing, right? Because it feels like you've had like a lot of rotation. There's been a lot of rotation. I'm seeing like a person walk into, you know, one of those doors that comes into a building, a rotating door, and they're just like, you know, in, out, in, out, in, out. And so that may be like things that have been cycling through your life, and you're just like, I just want something that's mine, that's gonna stay here. And I can resonate with that. I'm just like, when do I get like the full-time crew? Because these part-timers and temps are not working for me anymore. I need a full-time crew in my life. Then we have the healer, the foundation, and the remembrance. All right, clarify healer. Justice. Ooh, I like that. Foundation, we have the 5 of Cups. And then for remembrance, we have the 8 of Pentacles. There's... that was cute. So I saw the spider web, like, I don't know, representing like time and dimensions. And so then I saw the spider like crawling and like working to fix like little patches that had like torn open. So things in other dimensions or things in other, this is just a concept, okay? I'm not actually saying like literal, or it could be literal, I don't know. And other timelines that you are currently doing things in your experience that is essentially having a ripple as if you were going into other times and dimensions and repairing. I love that so much. I've never gotten a message like that, but that's kind of cute. So those of you who are specifically working, I mean, I don't even think you have to be specifically like intending, but you could be like in ancestral healing. But I sort of feel this is like, this may be actually like fixing familial bonds, even if it's like an afterlife bond. I don't know. There's some bonds being mended, and this doesn't even have to be between two people. There's just, take that however it resonates. I just see bonds being mended. And foundation of lack. There was a foundation of lack that's being shifted. What does that mean? Oh no, that could be self-concept. Is that what's shifting? Clarify this energy. We have the Daughter of Wands, and then we have the 4 of Pentacles. That's interesting. Hold on, let me pause. Okay, so I heard recalibrating into a foundation of abundance. into a foundation of worthiness, into a foundation of confidence and success. This could be affirmations, this could be meditations, this could be just doing actual physical changes to create a more confident, just really like deciding who you are, and in a positive way. You're like changing something in your self-concept from a foundation, having a foundation of lack, to having a foundation of abundance. And again, all those things that I had said. And it's something specifically that you're doing with healing. So this could just be whatever it is that you are learning, is unlocking things, that is creating a shift, new things that you are pursuing, new experiences that you are having or moving away from, or just whatever. There's some growth that has happened that is shifting something in that foundation. And I feel like strongly when it comes to self-concept. So if law of assumption, which is something that I've been recently looking a lot more into, it's very interesting. If that appeals to you, I would suggest checking it out, simply because there's some strong, like, law of assumption and law of attraction, very similar. But there are some key differences when it comes to what's focused on. Just saying. And then specifically again with self-concept, changing that self-concept, and that being the core of everything that you vibrate out, right? But anyways, yeah, I just talked a lot. But still, I think that this reading is actually really nice. It feels refreshing, because I feel a lot of strength and growth, and it feels like, if you've gone around, just only take this as resonates. If you're like me, I'm just going to say, I have gone around my whole life being like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know this. I don't know that. And just feeling very out of place with everything. Feeling very unprepared for everything. Feeling very just, you know. And so I feel like my self-concept is changing, and that is really like solidifying some things around me that have always been very like fleeting, as far as like energies, right? Holding and maintaining certain energies. So just a random thought. I feel like that's really changing. That's what this feels like. This feels like, okay, like knowing who you are, and therefore that being a very grounding energy with this protection. I just saw like feet floating above, and then it like bringing you down into solid ground. So the more you know yourself, and then I hear you know thyself. Yes. The more you know yourself, accept that, and then vibrate that out. Not allow anything to deceive you in your external about who it is that you are and what it is that you need for fulfillment, as far as like all you need is yourself, right? At the end of the day. I don't know. I'm just going off on a I went off today. Okay. Let me just get some animals. Oh, Wombat Spirit. I love him. He always comes out when I just need a little hug. And then I feel like I imagine myself cuddling with him. So Wombat Spirit, be at home. Yes, within your energy. And then we have Whale Spirit, 65, trust the great mystery. We have Pig Spirit, card 47, use your mind wisely. That's going to connect with the only you can prevent forest fires. Remember, do not allow fires within your internal forest. Let me get a few more. Okay, maybe just one more. No other animals want to show up today? No, that's okay. We have a bear that decided to, a brown bear spirit, to take time out. A reminder. He reminds me of Wombat. Just more fierce, right? Oh my god, it's Smokey the freaking bear! I just noticed it. What's wrong with me? Look at him right there telling you only you can prevent foreign. Like, yeah, I'll stop. I hope y'all have a good day until we vibe again.